Tez, may the fourth be with you.
I know, I'm
The fourth test, all that coming up. But breaking at 8 o'clock, Australia is about to ink one of the most significant defence deals in history. The Prime Minister touching down in Berlin this morning to announce 100 Queensland-made tanks have been sold to Germany.
This will be one of our largest ever exports. We'll guarantee that the 1,000 jobs that are there in Queensland will go into the future and will be worth in excess of $1 billion for the Australian economy.
All right, Nine's political editor Charles Cratcher is in Berlin for us this morning. Charles, this is a huge deal for Australia.
Yeah, it is, Sarah. It's just gone midnight here in Berlin and the lights have gone out on the Brandenburg Gate. But that gate that once divided the city will be the spot of unification for Australia and Germany with this signature a little later this morning. Anthony Albanese signing on to this deal. $1 billion beginning 2025 will produce 100 of those Boxer tanks, at least 70 we made in Queensland. And we're told that will bring in 1,000 jobs at least to the Sunshine State, as well as showcase Australian manufacturing to Europe at a time when Europe is in need of defence kit, because so much is being donated to the war effort in Ukraine and so many of the countries around this part are boosting their defence material. So that could be crucial for Australia moving forward as well. John Blaxland is a defence expert. He had this to say earlier.
Germany's invested in Australia for a while now, and this is a very interesting kind of complementarity to the NATO arrangements. That's very, it speaks volumes about how significant this is for Germany, but also how significant in defence industry is becoming for Australia.
Speaking of NATO, Anthony Albanese will travel to Lithuania in the next 3 days, where NATO leaders are meeting. He'll have a spring in his step after this announcement. And in an Origin week, it's just what Queensland needs as well.
Oh, there's always a way of linking it to Origin, Charles. Thank you.
In the words of JFK, ich bin ein Berliner. Well, now to the Ashes, and after the Empire strikes back, hope this morning the fourth test will be with us. Australia captain Pat Cummins still believes we have the momentum in the Ashes despite a disappointing 3-wicket loss to England in the third test at Headingley.
As the series heads to Manchester, do you fear maybe momentum has shifted in England's favour here?
Not really, no.
Why not?
2-1.
Geez, the pesky journos over there. Mitchell Starc kept Australia in the fight with a brilliant 5-4 in the fourth innings, but Harry Brooke and Mark Wood were okay with the bat, contributing 91 runs, and that's all I have to say about that.
To news just in, and 2 people have been arrested after an alleged burglary in Melbourne's Mount Waverley earlier this morning. Police followed a Mitsubishi Express van by road and air after it was seen driving away from a commercial building which had been broken into. After deploying stop sticks, the van's front wheel came off and items were thrown from the vehicle. A 43-year-old man and a 31-year-old woman are now assisting police.
Emergency crews have had to rescue 3 trapped teenagers after their car plummeted off an embankment in Ferny Grove. Today, Queensland reporter Andrea Crothers is in Brisbane with more. Andrea, they were all taken to hospital.
Yes, Sarah, and forensic officers are now trying to work their way through that wreckage to determine exactly what went wrong, if speed was a factor or not. Here's what we know so far, though. There were 3 teenage boys. They were in a vehicle, a Toyota Orion, travelling along Lanita Road, Ferny Grove last night. I'm told they're all friends. They were on their way to another friend's place when suddenly the driver appears to have lost control of the vehicle, that car rolling down an embankment. The 3 trapped inside. CPR performed on the driver. He is now here at the Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital in a serious condition. The other 2 are stable, Sarah.
Thanks, Andrea.
New fallout today from the Robodebt report. Pressure mounting on former PM Scott Morrison to resign. Today, reporter Gabrielle Boyle is in Cronulla with that story. In the Shire, Gabby, member for Cook isn't the only position he might lose.
It was just a few short years ago, wasn't it, that ScoMo was an extremely popular politician here on the beaches of Cronulla, very well liked by voters, even so much so that back in 2016 he was given the position of #1 ticket holder for the Cronulla Sharks. He could often be seen on the sidelines cheering on his team, but his popularity has certainly dropped. In fact, they're considering dropping him, we understand, from that position of #1 ticket holder, and his future in politics remains remains in limbo, with some in the party suggesting that he no longer has their support. And it all comes, of course, after this latest Royal Commission, the Robodebt Commission, finding many flaws in how this whole process played out. On the streets of Cronulla this morning, it seems opinion is divided over whether ScoMo has a future in politics.
Look, I don't speak about Scott Morrison because I don't really want to even hear his name. So there you go.
I think everyone's a bit over him, to be honest. Might not be up with what we need as a country.
Oh, I always like Scotty. Yes.
What do you like about him?
I don't know, he's just got that way. He's an Aussie. He's a Cronulla. He can't be doing things wrong.
Yeah, it certainly will be interesting to see the next chapter of his career, Carlos.
There's nothing quite like the Shire. I love it. Gabby, thank you.
Police are looking for these three men this morning, captured on CCTV dumping hazardous waste on a driveway near a Melbourne medical clinic. 9's Stephanie Anderson is at Hughesdale for us this morning. Steph, asbestos put patients at risk.
That was certainly the concern, Brooke, and dozens of appointments had to be either cancelled or rescheduled yesterday. After this incident played out at 5 p.m. on Saturday, it was discovered yesterday morning, but it did happen in full view of CCTV cameras, so we can show you exactly what played out. 3 men reversed that truck into the driveway between these 2 medical clinics. They lift the tray, dump a whole load of materials and take off. And it's since been confirmed that asbestos was among the mess left behind, so professionals had to be called in to clean it up. The business owners here say they have no idea why they've been targeted.
I think it's a pretty low-life act, really. Like, I get it, tips are expensive, but please don't drop asbestos off at a doctor's surgery. You've got sick people planning to come to the doctors on the day. They're exposed. We don't know how long it will. We know it was here from overnight, but in saying that, there was wind, particles could have been blown around, people could have been exposed to it, so it wasn't treated appropriately. So, yeah, just don't do it.
Now here this morning it is all clear. The clinics have started to open. We're seeing the doctors and patients turning up. But Brooke, police are pretty keen to speak to those 3 men, and anyone who recognises them is encouraged to reach out.
All right. Thanks, Steph.
Sport time, and Ukrainian tennis player Elina Svitolina continues to defy expectations just 9 months after giving birth, upsetting Victoria Azarenka in 3 sets in the round of 16. It was a welcome result for multiple reasons, with Svitolina having to give up her Harry Styles tickets to his concert in Vienna because she's still in the tournament.
Well, I hope Harry is watching and maybe... I'm just a big fan of his, so, you know, just like...
That's so sweet. Gave a ticket away to a fellow Ukrainian player. Well done. Defending men's champion Novak Djokovic won 2 tiebreaks over Hubert Hurkacz to take a 2-set-to-love lead before curfew saw their nail-biting match suspended. Shout out to all the Huberts watching too.
Hubert.
One of the great names.
It is a great name, isn't it?
Hubert. Sorry, Sarah. Hubert. Australia's top order needs to find runs and quickly. 2 poor batting innings costing us victory in the 3rd Ashes Test against England. The Aussie series lead now cut down to 2-1. 2 more matches to go. Old Trafford next Wednesday night, our time. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Carlton can still end their long-standing finals drought, staying in the hunt with a 53-point demolition job of Freo at Optus Stadium in Perth. The Blues' biggest weapons were all on song. Tall forwards Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow both kicking 3 goals. Didn't they need them? Improving their winning streak to 3 matches. They're in 11th spot on the ladder. Carlton doing well.
I think you'll find it's Ari and Charlie.
Merci beaucoup, Sarah.
I'm just getting ready for next year.
I know, Fred.
She's just a hard-working girl who made good from Mooney Ponds. Let's get the weather now with Timmy. Timmy, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm on the hunt for an Uber here this morning in Brisbane. Haven't found one. Probably won't. We are hanging out with the Gap Netball Club this morning. It has been a great little morning seeing how this wonderful community comes together through this club, and they are solid. More than 300 members of the Gold and Purples, GAP, Gold and Purples. They are on the hunt for a mascot, though. So thinking caps on. Carl, Sarah, Alex, Brooke, come on. Let's see. I've suggested the gazelles. Someone else said the geckos, maybe. maybe they don't like gorillas. So put your thinking caps on. I'll come back and test you on that in a second. But first, let's take a look at the forecast across Australia for you on this Monday morning. Some clouds around for Cairns today. Heading for a nice warm top, though, of 27 degrees. Here in Brisbane, 23 your high. Sydney, sunshine and 20. Canberra, partly cloudy and 13 today. Melbourne for you, 16 degrees the top. Hobart, showers and 15 on the way. Adelaide, a shower or two and 16 degrees. Perth, a possible shower for you and 19 degrees for Alice Springs, looking mostly sunny. And for Darwin, mostly sunny for you and 32 degrees. Some of the star players that I've got with us this morning, Holly and Louisa. Girls, good morning. What do you love about the Gap?
I love how it's like all a big community and everyone like supports each other.
Yeah.
And when you play, it's really fun because you get to play with your friends.
And Louisa, netball in particular, what do you love about it?
I love that you get to build up social skills and you get to have a go at everything and everything's just really fun.
Yeah, everyone's friends here. Everyone's running around having a great old time. The boys, I wanted to talk to these guys. You started playing, Cooper, 9, 8, 10 years ago? How long?
Yeah, 10 years ago I started playing at the age of 8.
Yeah.
It was back in Canberra, and yeah.
You dig it, and now you're a coach. He's come back to coach some of the younger ones. And one of the superstars that you're coaching, young Ned, hello.
Yeah.
Is he a good coach?
Yeah, he is. He's
What do you love about playing netball? Because there's more and more boys are joining and playing. What do you love?
Well, I love that it's a great team sport and it's really including the game too.
Yeah.
It's a wide variety of like fun and all that sort of stuff.
And good exercise as well. As I said, great little team here, great little community. Love hanging out with them this morning. You've signed me up. What are we thinking? Gorillas, gazelles, geckos? Gazelles?
Definitely gazelles, yeah.
Gazelles? Oh, gazelles is popular. On the desk there, ladies and gentlemen, what are you going for, mascot-wise?
I like a gazelle.
I think smartest boy in Brisbane playing netball with all those girls, eh?
Yeah, he is the smartest boy, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Timmy.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh, my goodness. Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
That never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?